Hello everyone. We've got the first few questions here on November 2024 paper 3 for Edexcel. So question 1, it says the table shows information about the times in minutes that 100 people took to complete a bike race. On the grid below, draw a frequency polygon for this information. Okay, so the two things I would say about frequency polygon are, number one, you're plotting the midpoints. Okay, so your first point that you're going to be plotting is going to be down here, and it's going to be at the midpoint there, so it's going to be at 130. Okay, and how high it's going to be is it's going to be 12 high. Then your next point that you're going to plot is going to be at 150, and it's going to be 28 high, so 150 and 28 high. So 150 and 28 high. The next one is going to be at 170 and 30 high, so like that. Then the one after that is going to be 190 and 22, so coming down like that. And the next one's going to be 210 and 8. So that's the first thing, is the midpoints. Now the second thing I would say about a frequency polygon is you connect them with straight lines, and those straight lines do not go down to the to meet the axes. So they're just kind of floating in the air like that. So that's kind of like how you would plot it. So just remember, midpoints, straight lines, and you don't connect them down to the axes. It just kind of floats in the air. So that's that first question. Question, oh gosh, looks like I need a compass for one of these. Does it? I happen to have one here. Question 2, write down 3.402 times 10 to the 5 as an ordinary number. So what I like to do for this one, for question 2, is write down 3.402, and I like to just put a bunch of zeros afterwards, okay? And then what's going to happen is a decimal point. I know it's some teachers are probably going to move, anyway. You can either think of the number moving or you can think of the decimal point moving, okay? But I think of the decimal point. So it's going to go 5 places to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to land there, okay? Which means we're going to have 3.40200.00. And let's have a look and see what kind of number this is. So this is 340,200 is that number. Write 0.8026 in standard form. So 0.8026 in standard form. The decimal point I'm going to think of to go 1 to the right. So we have 8.026 times 10, and it's going to be to the -1. So basically, when the decimal point kind of like moves to the right like that, that kind of like sends the power down by 1. And when the decimal point moves to the left, the power goes up. So we just write 8.026, move the decimal point 1 space to the left, because remember that first number at the beginning, if I just call it A, it has to be less than 10, but greater than or equal to 1. So that is okay at 8.026. So decimal point 1 place to the right, and it's -1 there. Next question, use a ruler and compass to construct a bisector of the angle ABC. So first of all, let us draw the two lines. So here's a couple of lines. Okay, there they are. And we've got to basically construct an angle bisector of this. So that is A, that is B, that is C. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take our compass. We're going to put it to, it doesn't matter how much you extend your compass, by the way. You could extend it there, or you could extend it there, or there. It makes no difference. The only thing that matters is once you start, your compass needs to stay the same. So you draw an arc like that. You take your compass, put the point on there, draw an arc up there like so. Keeping it the same, you paste it, put it on that little point there, and draw another arc, okay? And then you connect those with a ruler. So when I connect those with a ruler, so here we are, there is a ruler. So that's question 3 done. Nice 2 marks if something like that comes up. Question 4, it says, Dan is playing cards. The probability that he will win the card game is 0.3. Dan plays 2 games of cards. Complete the probability tree diagram. Okay, so Dan either wins or Dan does not win, okay? So 0.3 and 0.7. I'll put W and not W, okay? And this one here is win, and this one is not win. This one is win, and this one is not win. So the thing about the probabilities is they need to add up to 1 on each branch. So because that one was 0.3, that's how I knew that that one there was 0.7. Now, it's the same game of cards that Dan's playing twice. So therefore, the probability that he wins the second time is the same as before. So all of these branches also say 0.3 and 0.7 because it's the same event. Playing the game of cards has got the same probability of winning each time you do it. Okay, so that's the tree diagram is completed. Now let's see what's next. Work out the probability that Dan does not win either game. So that means he has to lose this game and lose this game. And in probability, when you're thinking of that word and, you multiply. So lose and lose is 0.7 times 0.7, which is 0.49. So that's the probability that Dan loses and loses, or you could say does not win and does not win. Right, question 5. Robin buys a total of 240 pens and pencils, where the number of pens to the number of pencils is in the ratio 3 to 5. So we have here pens, and we have here pencils, and they are in the ratio 3 to 5. So step 1 is let's work out how many pens and pencils we've actually got. So 240, now 3 add 5 is 8, divided by 8 is 30, okay? So therefore each one in this ratio stands for 30. So we need to times both sides by 30 as our first step. So that gives us 90 to 150. Now it says Robin pays 9p for each pen and she sells each pen for 11p. Robin pays 6p for each pencil and she sells each pencil for 10p. Robin sells all the pens, all the pencils, work out the percentage profit, give your answer correct to 1 decimal place. So first of all, let's look at the costs. How much did it cost Robin to buy the pens and pencils? So pens and pencils. So the pens, they cost, how much do the pens cost? Robin pays 9p for each pen. So the pens cost 9p each, and we've got 90 of them. So 90 pens times by 9p, 9 times 9 is 81. So that is £8.10. So £8.10 is how much Robin has paid for the pens. Now let's look at the pencils. 6p for each pencil, so and there's 150 of them. So 150 times by 6p. Let's see what that gives us. 150 times by 6 is £9. Okay, so £9 is how much Robin's paid. So in total, we can see that Robin has paid £17.10 for the pens and pencils. Now let's work out how much money Robin makes from the sales. Okay, so from the sales, all of them are sold. So 90, so let's do the pens and let's do the pencils. So all of the pens are sold, 90p, and they're sold for 11p each. The pencils, all 150 are sold, and they are sold for 10p each. Okay, so we're going to say 10p times 150 is going to be 1,500, which is going to be £15. And then we've got 90, we've got 90 times by 11, which is £9.90. So that is £9.90. So let's add those two together. So we're going to have £9.90, add 15, it's going to give us £24.90. So £24.90, that's how much money they're all sold for. Okay, so in order to work out our profit, what we're going to need to do is work out the percentage profit. So we're going to need to do the amount that they're sold for, £24.90, minus how much it costs to buy them. Okay, and then we're going to, are we going to do it that way? No, let's not do it that way. Let's just do it this way. Let's just divide it by how much you sold them all for divided by how much you bought them all for. Okay, so let's see what that gives us. So that is going to be £24.90 divided by £17.10. Okay, which gives me that gives me 1.456. Okay, so basically the percentage profit, because remember 1 stands for 100%, so if this number was 1, it basically would have mean that Robin would have got her money back, but actually we have got a 45.6% percentage profit, because that decimal there is 1.456, which corresponds to a 45.6 increase in the price, percentage increase.